Welcome back and happy Halloween, everyone. I am back again with another Keyforge Worlds Collide starter set opening. And yeah, I wanted to do another episode right away for Halloween. So I'm going to pop open this next starter set and we're going to get right into it. I'm hoping that I can get a spooky Keyforge deck today. I don't know what that really means, but I'm going to attempt to get one. We'll see. And as always, thank you everyone who has been watching my videos. Again, if you would like to like and subscribe, I'd appreciate it, but it's not necessary. I really just do these for fun. So, here's our next deck. Let's see if we can get a spooky one. A spooky Keyforge deck. Let's see what we got in here. It looks like a blue Archon. We have Brobnar, Star Alliance, and Untamed. We have Mauler, the Essentially Impractical. And it's a pretty cool Archon. I like the little robot arms he's got up here. I like his little face there. Is that his little face? It's like a little robot Archon. Oh, and the lightning effect's really cool. Yeah, pretty neat. All right, pop it open and see what we got. Hopefully this one is not going to give me as much trouble as the previous ones. My plastic nemesis. All right, looks like I got a bit of that off there. All right, torn that part open. All right, let's see what we got in this deck. Throw away the trash, square it up, drop the Archon card, square it up again, and turn it over. And we're starting with Untamed. It is Piranha Monkeys, a 2-power creature. Play Reap, deal 2 damage to each other creature. So that's definitely one you want to play when you have no creatures out of board, or creatures with armor. Next up we have Mimicry, great card from the first set. It is an action card. When you play this card, treat it as a copy of an action card in your opponent's discard pile. Basically use your opponent's best card in their discard pile. Best action card anyway. This can really turn a game around. Next, we've got Grasping Vines. Amber, when you play it, return up to 3 artifacts to their owner's hands. It's a bit of light artifact control. Good to see that. And we have Camouflage. It's an upgrade. Amber, when you play it, creatures not on a flank cannot fight this creature. Good way to protect a creature. Unsuspecting Prey. We've seen this before. Play, deal 2 damage to up to 3 undamaged creatures. Unnatural Selection. Action card, Amber, when you play it, choose 3 friendly creatures and 3 enemy creatures, destroy each other creature. That's a great way of kind of clearing the board, and there's no chains attached to it. Usually when you have a big board clearing card like this, you get chains attached to it, so that's a really good card. And we have 2 of those. Wow, that's amazing. And we have the Fittest. It's an action card with an Amber bonus. Play, give each friendly creature a +1 power counter. Great for bumping up those creatures. And it's each friendly creature, not just Untamed. Everything you have gets a +1 power counter. Really good. We have Tentadlin. It is a 9-power, no-armor creature. Tentadlin only deals 2 damage when fighting, but when he fights, you discard a random card from your opponent's archives. Really good against Logos. If we go up against the Logos deck, we'll be able to kind of ruin their plans a bit there with that guy. We have Molfin, a 3-power creature with Hazardous 3, and after Amber is stolen from you, deal 1 damage to each enemy creature for each Amber stolen. Really good against Shadows. Really good against Shadows. Harmonia, 2-power creature. She's elusive, and after you play a creature, if there are more enemy creatures than friendly creatures, gain 1 Amber. So it's a reverse Hunting Witch from the first set. Could be a good Amber Rush card, depends on how many creatures your opponent has. We have Bramblelynx, a 3-power creature with Skirmish, and if you use a creature to reap this turn, Bramblelynx enters play ready. Great card just to, you know, it seems we have a lot of untamed creatures, so odds are we'll be able to get this guy in ready. Very nice. And now we're on to Star Alliance with an upgrade called Walls Blaster. We seem to get a lot of these specific upgrades quite often when we get Star Alliance, so that's neat, that's nice. It is got an Amber bonus, and this creature gains Fight Reap. You may deal 2 damage to a creature or attach Walls Blaster to Chief Engineer Walls. After you attach Walls Blaster to Chief Engineer Walls, stun a creature for each upgrade on Chief Engineer Walls. So we really want to have a lot of upgrades on that guy. We had at least 1 or 2 in Untamed there. So, yeah, we'll have to look at walls and see what he does, but that's pretty cool. Get to stun some creatures. And we have another blaster. We have Kincan's blaster, which we've seen before. It also does 2 damage to a creature in a fight and reap, but when it's attached to Kincan, you may archive a creature in play. So, good setup. We have Quintrino Flux. It's an action card. Choose a friendly creature and an enemy creature. Destroy the chosen creatures and each creature with the same power as either of the chosen creatures. Whoa. That's really cool. That could be a complete board wipe if you're lucky enough. I mean, you basically destroy all creatures of 2 different numbers. That's pretty cool. Yeah, that would be a really big swing card. Wow, could really get some board control with that one. We have Information Officer Gray. It's a 4-power creature. Play, fight, reap. You may reveal a non-Star Alliance card from your hand, and if you do, archive it. Cool. Got another way to archive cards and set up for a big turn. We have Force Field. Amber, when you play it, it's an upgrade. This creature gains reap or this creature. Pretty good. More protection effects. We have Calve In, or Calve 1 In, a 2-power, 1 armor robot creature. You fight reap with it, you draw a card, and it may be played as an upgrade instead of a creature, with the text, this creature gains fight reap, draw a card. Love these robots that can turn into upgrades. Makes them super versatile. Plus, drawing cards is always good in this game, most games. We've got Stealth Mode. It's an action card. Amber, when you play it, your opponent cannot play action cards during their next turn. Wonderful card. Really, really good card. Really slows your opponent down. Love seeing stuff like this. Next we got, there's Kincan. After player, it's got Elusive. It's a 2-power creature. And after a player chooses an active house with matches no cards in play, you steal 1 Amber. Good early game card. Another upgrade, we have Light of the Archons. Wonderful upgrade. Amber, when you play it, this creature gets +1 power and +1 armor for each upgrade attached to it. Very good. Very, very good. Really beefs something up. We have First Officer Frayne, a 4-power creature. Play, fight, reap. A friendly creature captures 1. Awesome. Capturing Amber is good. Commander Chan, 4-power, no armor creature. Fight, reap. Use another friendly creature. Off-house stuff. Love seeing off-house stuff. There's Chief Engineer Walls. He's elusive, a 2-power, no armor elusive creature. Play, fight, reap. You may return an upgrade or robot card from your discard pile to your hand. We have a few upgrades there, and to just be able to cycle those back is really good. You can make a creature last for a long time, and we can cycle them out a couple times. And in Brobnar now, we start off with a big one called the Big One. It is an artifact with an Amber bonus, and after a creature is played, put a fuse counter on the Big One. If there are 10 or more fuse counters on the Big One, destroy each creature and artifact. Wow. Yeah, that's a big kind of all-in card. You really want to plan this one out. It'll take a bit of thought to use this one because your opponent can just decide, all right, we're going to activate it, on their turn, and then they can put out more creatures and kind of be ahead of you. Plus, it destroys all artifacts, so we'll have to see how many artifacts are in this deck. And we have Smith. It's an action card with an Amber bonus. Gain 2 Amber if you control more creatures than your opponent. We might be good on that front because we seem to have a lot of creatures in this deck. Moving on, we've got Little Rapscal, a 2-power, no armor creature. He's elusive, and creatures must fight when used if able. So, I think in this deck I might just set this out at the end of my Brobnar turn, and then, next turn, call Brobnar and run him into something so I can reap with my creatures, It might be just a 1-turn disruption card. We've got Tremor. It's an action card. Play, stun a creature and each of its neighbors. 3 stun card in 1 card. That's really, really good. Like to see that. We have Stiltkin, a 2-power, no armor creature. Skirmish, and after a giant creature is played adjacent to Stiltkin, ready and fight with Stiltkin. So he's a nice one to you set him out there, set a couple giants next to him, and you can fight with him a couple times, and he'll do maybe 6 damage in a turn or 4 damage in a turn more often. Yeah. Shorty, 4-power, no armor creature with Assault 4 and Reap and Rage Shorty. Just a good all-around fighter. As Brobnar should be. And we've got Narp, which is kind of a questionable card. An 8-power, 1 armor creature, and Narp's neighbors cannot reap. So I would often just set him on one flank and leave him there and have him fight just sacrifice the one creature next to him as far as reaping goes, because I don't know, that can be really bad. It really kind of depends on your deck, but it seems like a really, really big sacrifice. And next up we have Mog Hunter, a 6-power, no armor creature. Fight, deal 2 damage to a flank creature. Just a good solid fighter. We've got 2 of those. Next up we've got Gron Ninetoes, a 5-power, no armor creature. Gron Ninetoes gets +4 power while it is damaged. And it's got to survive that damage. So yeah, it could be considered a 9-power creature if you can just kind of give it like 1 or 2 damage at a time. It's a good solid fighter, I'd say. And we've got 2 of them, and we got 1 less card left in the deck. It is Grok, a 5-power, no armor creature. Fight, your opponent loses 1 amber. Cool. Wow, we seem to have a lot of creatures in this deck. Can't speak to how much amber we have just yet, but we will see how the amber shakes out. So let's just do an amber check first. You know what, real quick, I'm actually kind of curious. I want to see an artifact check, because we had that one thing that destroys all artifacts, which creatures are one thing, this thing, but artifacts seem like they're a little harder to get back out. Artifacts can kind of change the thing, and it looks like we don't have many artifacts. Or actually, it doesn't look like we have any other artifacts at all. I might be wrong about that, but yeah, it looks like we just have a good, like a really good artifact control kind of situation going there. Cool. So let's just pull up all this amber, and we'll see how we're doing on that front. Let's see, stealth mode and force field. I don't know if we can count on this for amber. Nah, I don't want to count it unnecessarily. I'll put Mimicry up there because oftentimes the card I choose is just a straight up amber bonus card anyway. So we'll say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 amber. That's actually almost pretty solid. Yeah, I would say that's pretty good. And let's do a quick creature count. Put all these creatures up front. Oh. And it seems like we have a lot of creatures in this deck. It really does. Which is good, because if we destroy them all with that artifact, then we'll have enough to kind of make up for it. So let's see, 1, 2, 3. Let's make sure number 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 15, 20 creatures. Man, we seem to be getting a lot of creatures in these boxes. Wow, that's really good. 15 amber and 20 creatures. That I like to see that. Wow. So yeah, we have a couple ways of destroying a lot of creatures too. We have that, and then we have the unnatural selections. We have 2 of the unnatural selections. A lot of good board control. Yeah, this seems like a really solid deck just all around. It's got pretty much everything you could want. It's got some artifact control. It's got some, I don't know, as far as amber control goes, it probably is a little weak in the amber control. Except for this. This is pretty good as far as, you know, kind of dissuading your opponent from stealing from you. So let's just kind of put up all the amber control we've got real quick, and then we'll end off here. But yeah, I'm a fan so far. It's an interesting one. Right. Could actually have more amber control than I expected. Seems like a pretty good fighty deck, you know, overall, which I appreciate. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3 amber control. That's the weakness there. We don't have very much amber control, so this is kind of like a rush deck. You get a rush to fight and cleave your opponent's board clear, rush to get your amber pips out, and just kind of shut your opponent down a bit. And that's always a fun deck to play. So yeah, can't wait to try that one out. But once again, thank you guys for watching, and feel free to like and subscribe again if you enjoyed this content, and I'll be back again later on with the next deck. Have a good one.